And it's Grandma.
It's in Maya.
All right, Grandma. We are watching the sunrise, and we are ready to start moving. Yay!
We're starting to move. Well, every day I'm up with the sun. We watch the sunrise. And when I'm out here, I've already been moving quite a bit, usually up for maybe an hour, sometimes 30 minutes.
Hello, Papa Helmut.
And I do horizontal type exercises, floor exercises. So about 30 minutes to an hour. Every once in a while I get in a rush and I do the most important stretch. And get up and run. And that's good. That's okay. So when I'm out here, I'm talking to the sun, and I'm talking with the sunlight, and I'm talking with the earth and the earth energies, and I'm talking with the sky and the sky spirits, the sky energies, the geomagnetic field that the earth and the sky make together that protect us and keep our atmosphere here together, that keep creating the atmosphere. And it's our gratitude time. This is the ancient tradition. You gotta have gratitude, along with the finding that heart space, the song, your beingness, and connecting your real beingness, your center, your energy, with everything else. Just a deep, heartfelt, loving connection, a feeling of great gratitude. And so we give thanks first to the sun, and we say things like, thank you sun, thank you for your beingness, thank you for your presence, thank you for your peace that you give us, thank you for the quiet inside that you give us, thank you for the freedom, thank you for the beauty, thank you for the love, thank you for the coherence of all things, the earth, the sun and the sky and the air and the sunlight and the water. Big thanks to the water, and picturing everything perfect and giving thanks for that perfection, feeling it all the way through you. And as I'm doing that, it's usually, like in the winter, it's really cold. I mean, this is in the 7,000 feet, or maybe it's a little more, altitude. And the winter, there's got frozen ground, we got ice, we got a lot of snow. It melted now, it's bare, but we get a lot of it all the way, even through April. It could be cold like this. And I usually have a little bit more on, big mittens and a really big hoodie. It came from Moscow. It's because they know cold. So I start wiggling. I have to wiggle out some of the stretches and things that I just did. Today I didn't do it because I didn't wake up early enough. I'll confess.
Confessing the sins.
Confession. So when it's cold out here, my nose will always drip, so I stuff my pockets full of Kleenex when I come out here.
That's some sage
like
advice.
A little balloon.
Never forget your Kleenex, children. Never forget.
So I twist. I often have my knees bent, and I've got my hips available to be kicking out, so I can just toss them in all these different directions. Ooh, the crow!
Right?
Crow's coming. Hi, hi. We always say hi to the crows. They're very special, and they'll fly right over. Hi, hi. So another one
There's
over
another
there. Yeah. they answer, they talk. They'll swing out of their way to come right over here and talk.
one. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
This backyard is full of adventures.
This is our flagstone patio, which I picked every rock and I designed it. Had a lot of young burly dudes come and place the rocks.
Oh, that's the only way to do it.
Oh, there's no way I can move these things.
Dude,
They're
flagstone
really
is
thick.
heavy.
They're very, very thick, so
It may
they're
look-
hundreds of pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it may
they're-
look like it's just a little stone, but it's like 100, 200, 300 pounds. Like that one in the middle,
Yeah,
probably 300 pounds easily.
easy. Yeah, they're real, real thick. And in our ancient traditions, rocks are very important. Land, dirt, rock is really sacred, and a lot of altar areas are built out of rocks. So we always do our ceremonies out here when we can, when weather permits.
Mm-hmm. It's a great space for it.
It's just so beautiful. Be in the desert in the middle of the summer, it's pretty darn hot. You gotta have umbrellas, and the wind will come, big whirlwinds, and they'll just take the umbrellas and rip them up and throw them against the tree.
Hence all the tape.
Yes, that one has been repaired. I don't know how that one. It's the oldest one that has lived through so many of these whirlwinds.
Wow.
But last summer we had 3 of them be just ripped up, torn apart, thrown against the tree, and just shatter.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this coming summer. That's one of our expenses of being out here. So I like to just move everything,
Really
let
wiggle.
the body tell me what needs to move next and how.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of, sort of regular movements or exercises that I do, but I just listen to that body, and whatever it wants, it gets. So,
I definitely use a similar system when doing my workouts. I do pretty much all improv work when I'm working out on my own, and you just gotta let the body get what it wants,
it's, gotta listen. It's like, I think I sat a little too long talking to Hannah and Bobby. And so let's make sure you get right in there, stretch out the little glutees.
Yes, you
Glutey
must stretch
babies.
the glutees. Very important. Cannot forget.
And the twist, the old twist. And interestingly enough, with the Taoist people, the monks, they have these sacred exercise regimes that they do every day, and usually at sunrise. Sometimes they'll have another set that they do later. But the traditionals, the old guys, they never miss sunrise. Never miss sunrise. Very important for their health, for balancing that circadian rhythm. So one of the things they do is a twist. We like to think it came from the 50s. That was just a remake.
Oh, that's true. These hips were made for twisting.
And they twist everything. Gotta be careful with your knees. If you got any kind of knee or ankle problem, gotta listen to it. you know, they're limber. They've been doing it their whole life, so you know they can do this, and they have no problems wrenching their knees or hips or anything. But you do it little by little every day. Everything gets stronger,
Oh yes.
and then pretty soon you're doing the whole grind here. Another one I do pretty much every day, and the Taoists, you know, they're so religious with it. You have to do this every day, and it's all about the spinal column and the spinal fluid, keeping the column all, and so that's what goes with the twist and the others, you know, wiggly things. But the spinal fluid, the flexibility of your whole spine, and the nerve complexes, and the core, all the core muscles that are just really deep inside. And one thing I tell my students is to get a simple anatomy book that has all these muscles shown. And just take a look at the extraordinary amount of muscle that you have on the inside that we never think of.
The ones you can't see.
Yeah.
The ones you don't think about when you think about, you know, bodybuilders, men. You're like,
Yeah.
our spine is so deeply supported, our hips are so intricately woven with ligaments and tendons, our knees. It's all in there.
And you gotta move it.
Yes.
You gotta move. You gotta move it. And so one of the things they do is they separate out just this area, just your hips, not moving the knees as much as possible, not moving anything above your waistline as much as possible, and you start rotating your hip in a circle. It's a little confusing at first because it's a movement that in the West we just don't do.
It's a little too raunchy for certain people. They're like, you want me to do what?
Well, this one isn't as raunchy as the next one. But it's critical. It's utterly critical. And we're the crazy culture. We're the only culture that would tag it raunchy. So they start clockwise. I'm going clockwise. And usually it's about 20 rotations. But do what you can. Don't OD.
Don't OD.
Because when you haven't ever done this before, all of these muscles on the inside, you know, as much as you can see on the outside, there's probably more on the inside.
And you can really feel it on this one. You can really feel it pulling the pelvis, tilting it, and then the back activates, and then you reverse it. And you can really just feel the deep pelvic floor that people talk about when you do this one.
Because
I like this one.
You're pulling on the stuff inside there.
Yeah.
You know, women, ladies, especially if you have not ever gotten pregnant before and you want to have babies, please do this every day. Get this strong. Now, when I was young, didn't exercise. I mean, women didn't do this. They just did not do this. So, when I had my first baby, oh my God, I think I had a 36-hour labor.
Ugh.
Really slow, really hard. And boy, you feel all those muscles in there because they're trying to stretch. They're trying to do their supposed to thing and having a real hard time. And it makes it really rough.
Hence the importance of stretching. Stretch the groin, stretch the hips, stretch the belly.
So we got the clockwise going. Now you gotta do it the other way.
I think I was going mostly counterclockwise.
Whichever way you went first, it's okay. It's just that's their rhythm, their tradition. And do it about as many times as you did clockwise. This keeping the spinal column tissue really flexible and keeping the fluid really more fluid, not thickening up in the spine or getting stuck anywhere. They believe that you have to keep that spine mobile and the fluid moving.
True.
And the fluid is moving all the way down into your tailbone, into the nerves around the tailbone. It goes into the whole groin area, crotch. So we are stirring it. It's a circle.
Stirring the pot.
So, you work it day after day, little by little, so you can get it moving as much in each direction without moving any knees or anything above. And when you've done both as much as you can, they shake. They do the shimmy. They shake on you, way down to your ankles and your head. It's like from an internal vibe machine. You're vibing. Okay, next up is the next section, which is like a waist to your chest.
All right.
And you do the same thing. You don't want to move the hips as much as you can. You're just moving this part. And you're making a circle. Do it as much as you can. They go a good 20, 24, something like that. But just do what you can. If you can be in front of something that's like a mirror, this looks a lot, very mirror-ish. And so sometimes I watch so I can see the form, make sure my form is good.
Make sure you're really getting that full range of motion.
And I'm not doing some weird, just favoring this part.
Yes.
Not going over here because something is too achy or stiff or, things like that.
Yeah, this one feels great on the mid-back.
Oh,
this is one I had not thought about before.
It just gets it. That's a hard spot, this mid-back here.
Yeah.
It's a really hard spot to get, the exercise.
And I collect tension there every day just from standing, from, tensing up. That's where a lot of my tension is held. So
I think it's common. It's really, really common. So when you go so many in one direction and then you go in the other direction, and you can feel that there are muscles on the inside that are surrounding your liver and your stomach and your lungs. And at first it's a little odd, and really the mirror really helps. Having a window or some kind of mirror so that you could see, because this one's the hardest one to do without letting the hips get engaged or the top.
I agree. The hips want to do all the work.
Yeah, they want to drag along, stay in the party.
Which I get. It's a good party to be at.
But it stretches and massages everything in that mid-range area. And then when you had enough of both directions, shake, shake. The Hindus have a dance that they do, a sacred, and they shimmy. This is the shimmy,
Gotta just shake.
And they do it
out.
so well and so deep and hard and for so long. And they're also doing their feet. They're actually moving, dancing, and the whole body is just shaking like crazy. But it's a good exercise. Even if you only do it for just a minute or 5 seconds.
True. Just shake it out.
Yeah. It makes everything feel good. The next one is the top. And go one direction. Try not to engage the head. You're separating out this section from everything else. And this feels so good on the back of the neck, around the shoulders, because they're getting stretched in a way that we just don't do anything else in this culture to move this stuff. And it's moving the spine. It's keeping the spine, the spinal column inside, flexible, movable. It has to be able to move. A lot of times it gets stuck to the outer shell of the spinal column, and adhesions form, and then it can't move.
It's true. Some people have permanently lost the mobility of their spine, unfortunately. And that's why these things are so important.
They're very, very important. The Taoist priests will say that you have to do this in order to make your life energy, your Kundalini life energy, be able to move freely up and down your spine and go down into the earth and come back up from the earth and go up to the sun and come back down and be free, flowing. Because if all that spinal stuff is all blocked up, you can't move it, then your life energy has got blocks. There's boulders in the road, and it can't go up and down and out your body and in and out of chakras and all that kind of stuff. So they think this is one of the most important exercises. And after I started doing it, I can agree. If I don't do this, I can tell. I feel it right away. So change direction when you've had enough. The goal is to get this level here up to 20 times each direction. It's hard at first. Yeah. But just keep at it. They have their own words, like eternal life or longevity, or that's the name of this series of exercises. So think about that.
Yes.
Yes. They believe in long life, but they believe in being very healthy and mobile and mentally, strong and healthy. So whatever movement you do, just move. You gotta keep moving every day. Even if your schedule is difficult and you can't quite get to all the different things at a certain time, it's okay. Move something somewhere along the line in the middle of the day.
Something somewhere.
So to move something.
Here, I'm gonna see how much
Okay.
how much we got left. 19 minutes. All right.
How many?
19 minutes.
Oh, cool. Okay, the next one that they do, the spine movements, this long life, very, very important for both men and women, very important for women for being able to get pregnant and give birth in a really good, healthy way. Okay, this one is a lot naughtier.
Oh, just doing the body rolls.
Yeah. And you want to get a good swing. Your whole spine is moving and rotating and going this way and that way. I'll go like this. See it from the side. Gotta get a flat spot on these rocks. You gotta really kick the pelvis out there. Do it as many times as you can. And then you gotta breathe. You'll find a rhythm where your body wants to inhale or exhale. And then the opposite direction, which is very difficult for Westerners because this is something that we just don't do. But it's in belly dancing. It's a very important aspect of ancient belly dancing and women developing the whole core and the whole pelvic area, strengthening the uterus, everything. And it's the opposite. We just did this.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to and you're moving your torso, accentuating the movement as much as you can, and pushing out the belly to the front, and then to the back, and we're arching the back this way and then that way. So this way, it's going like that, and then you're going up. So you want that spine to be snake-like. And do that as many times as you can. And then
shake.
The sun is warming up.
Mm-hmm. She's high in the sky now.
It is getting higher and higher. When I come out here before the sun has come up, it could be anywhere from below 0 to like 32 most of the winter, most of the cold season.
Today is probably like 40 right now. It was probably like 30 when we first got out here.
It's hard to tell with the sun because, this is high desert. We're in the sun and it's actually really warm.
Mm-hmm.
But you get in the shade or the wind. We don't have any wind right now. The sun, when you can be blocking the wind, will be really hot. We actually start coming out with, our bathing suit and stay in the sun, stay out of the wind, because the wind will be very, very icy, very icy. So we can't forget the top layer. The last layer's on the head, and you want to rotate your head, unless a chiropractor, doctor, for some reason you got something bad happening in your spine up there, in your neck, and they tell you not to do this, listen to that. But slowly, this is real slow, not in any hurry to wrench your neck. So just go real slow. And you make as full movement as you can. You only need to do it a few times. Just listen to your body. If it says, I've had enough, that's it. Switch directions. So head the other direction. The old Taoist priest only did about 5 or 6 rotations on each direction for the neck. And the other ones were about 20.
You don't want to overdo the neck. And you definitely want to take these nice and slow. Nice and slow.
And when you've done that, then the straight line. And go slow. And get your head to move as far as it will comfortably. Gotta listen to your body. You want what's comfortable. The more you do this, the more flexible the neck gets, and the farther you can twist it in different directions. So you do each one of these in a little bit more linear directions. Right now my body says it wants to go this way a lot. It wants lots of this. And then stretching it this way. Just gotta listen. Feel that body. So about this time I usually feel like I need to do some shoulder stuff. And go this way and this way and this way. And I don't know, maybe we should take a sweep of the patio, because this is my gym. I arranged these rocks, I picked them special.
Sneak peek at Grandma's gym.
Okay. So a lot of these rocks are very, very bumpy. They're not flat. Very few of them are flat. I did get a couple flat ones so I could put a table. But the rest of them, walking on this very, very bumpy, lumpy rock.
And why do we do that, Grandma?
So that it's like being out in nature. When you're hiking out in nature, the ground is very uneven, and you got soft spots, you got hard spots and rocks and things that stick up, and your feet get all this different kind of exercise. So, and I purposefully step in different ways on all the rough spots so that my feet get this massaging and stretching and exercising, and my ankles. It does this to the ankles, strengthens the ankles and the calves and the knees and the hips, because it goes all the way up, and of course up into the spine. All this radiates up into the spine. So if I'm having a slow day, I walk. If I'm having a better day, I trot. All the way down here. The rocks here slope. And there's a sharp drop off, because these rocks are really, really thick. I can smell somebody's fireplace. Somebody lit their fireplace. But when you can imitate nature, when you can get out in nature and have real sunlight and have fresher air and have uneven ground, and just let your body figure out how to traverse all these different things. This is a rock pile. It's actually a drain, a rain drain. all these little rocks. But this is a very sacred altar space in the tradition, because these are all river rocks, and they collect energy and rain, runoff, and they have a very special energy. Trotting on them, walking on them, they're moving. They're all moving a little bit, and it educates your entire body. It's telling your whole body it's got to be flexible and strong. And the stumps. These are the chairs for us and for students, because I have a lot of students come and we do classes out here. And this is my favorite one, but we do it on all of them. And this one wiggles. It's rotting a little on the bottom. So it wiggles, and that's on purpose. I picked that on purpose. So I can do lunges.
Yes.
And up and down. Both legs. Go as far as I can, hold it. I usually hold it longer, and I do more lunges. And the other foot is parked on uneven ground. So it's teaching your body a whole lot of different things to get strong, like you'd be out in nature.
Yes, what we call that is proprioception.
Nice.
Yes.
This is the tallest one. It's pretty high for me, but it works really good. Just, it can get places in the pelvis and the thighs that I don't get other places.
Dang, Grandma, you're more flexible than people my age.
Yes. And go up and down. And I like being where I can touch something in case, there's a little balance issue. Sometimes we get really big wind here. huge wind and wind tunnels, like little mini tornado dust storms. And they'll whip through here and they can knock you off. They can knock you off your balance, even if you're standing strong and stable. But that feels so good.
Nothing like a good runner's lunge. Deep. And if you are, looking for a little more adventure, my personal favorite is to take the shoes off. And I like to use these stumps for an extra balance challenge. For some single leg work, for some sun salutation. So this is truly a beautiful gym that you have here, Grandma. I love the way you exercise your feet, stretch out the body, and get everything moving and grooving. Do you have any final statements you would like to conclude with?
No, about 100. Let's find one. When you were talking yesterday about what would I pick with 3 things, number 3 on the list is movement, exercise. It's, if you don't move, if you aren't doing something that moves everything, your body wastes away. It gets locked up, it wastes away. And I haven't been, able to be athletic like this most of my life. I was incredibly sick. I had mercury poisoning, really, really bad mercury, lead, arsenic poisoning. And went through a number of years to get that out of my body, detoxing in many different ways, and trying to unlock. It was all in here. Really, this hurt settled everything in here, and because it was a weak spot anyway from congenital, things that don't really grow quite right when you're an infant or a fetus. So that was the weak spot. And I got polio in there. Now, this was not polio that comes, from nature. It's not that. This is the polio that you can get from having polio, the old sugar cubes, and the vaccines, because it was a live virus. And I'm not the only one that ended up with this, but it was so bad that I couldn't move. I would have episodes, about 4, 5 a year, and I would be not able to move. Helmut had to lift me up. He had to kind of, my husband was really big, and he just kind of like, okay, we're going to the bathroom now. In bed, laying down, I could not roll over from one position to the next. The pain was too bad, too horrible. And from the traditions, the Peruvian, the ancient Egyptian traditions, there's no alcohol, there's no drugs. And that includes painkillers, bad painkillers. So I never had any kind of painkiller or a muscle relaxer the whole time. So I just had to learn how to deal with that pain and make myself move. Get over the bout of whatever happens in there. And I finally got enough poison out of my body that I could manage to do physical things, get chiropractic work that would hold, because the chiropractor can't do anything if your tissues are full of poison like that, because they fix it and minutes later it like bungee cords right back, because your body doesn't know anything different and it's locked in with the poison. It can't learn. So you got to get poison out of your body. It's another big health thing. If I could pick number 4, it's get the poison out of your body and get it out of your environment. We live in a very, very clean environment and diet, and as close as we can to living in the wild.